High in western China's Kunlun Mountains, men gamble with their money and their lives. The prize is some of the finest jade on earth. But winning it requires many sacrifices. Life in the mountain camps is hard, and the work is harder. The jade must be clawed from the mountain's grip and then man-hauled down its treacherous slopes. It's a hard way to make a living, but for over 2,000 years, little has changed for the jade hunters of China. In western China, a team of donkeys is loaded up for a journey that's been made since ancient times. It's September, and these men are setting out to bring supplies to a mining camp high in the mountains. Trips like this have been made since the Qin dynasty over 2,000 years ago, and the supply train has been running since May. This is the last supply run of the season. In 2 or 3 weeks' time, the mountain weather will start to make mining impossible, and the camps will close for the winter. But reports are coming in from the camps of discontented miners and not much jade. The jade expeditions climb into the Kunlun Mountains from the town of Yutian on the edge of the Tibetan plateau. Immense geological forces that raised these mountains formed volcanoes, which melted the rocks to create the precious mineral. As the rocks cooled, those that contained silicon formed crystals, crystals of purest, whitest, most highly prized jade. To Chinese people, it's the most valuable of all precious stones, the essence of heaven and earth. A simple, small bracelet made from white jade could fetch $12,000 US. Men are prepared to risk their lives for such fortunes. But the mountains don't yield their treasure easily. Only an intrepid few dare to take it. They're adventurers, gambling that somewhere here on the roof of the world, they'll find the vein that'll make them rich. 3 days' ride south from Yutian, 8 men have set up a camp at Alamas, 14,000 feet above sea level. Most of these men come from Sichuan province, 900 miles to the east. Their clothing and equipment are minimal. Accommodation is very basic, rock walls and plastic sheeting to keep out the mountain weather. It's all very low tech, but comfortable enough when the weather's good. The leader, Zhang Jiangguo, is an entrepreneur. He financed this expedition and guarantees his workers a steady wage. But he stands to gain or lose a fortune at Alamas. Back in their villages, these unskilled labourers could earn around $70 a month. They get twice that for each of the 3 months they spend here. Though he's only 21, Xiao Jiang has been well paid for mining in these mountains for the last 7 years. Lao Wang has earned enough to build a 2-story house, the best in his village. The strongest man on this team comes from here in Xinjiang. As a child, Kurban helped his grandfather to herd sheep in this region. Now, he's joined the hunt for Jade. Today, he carries the heaviest load, a tank of fuel, and leads the team to the mine site. Lao Tian, the cook, will spend the day at camp, where he can wait for much-needed supplies. The walk to work is steep, and at 2.5 miles above sea level, where the air is thin and the temperatures are cold, very strenuous. But the scenery is spectacular. And along the way, Kurban provides entertainment. The Alamas mine is a modest operation. Zhang Jiangguo can only afford enough equipment for 1 or 2 miners to dig at once. The rest wait for their chance to blast the rock and dig through the rubble. Low oxygen can make men sluggish, and for the young Xiao Jiang, living at 13,000 feet was a shock at first.
I had no appetite. I couldn't sleep. I've never seen this before. It's the first time. I just feel cool. I feel the environment here is cool.
To the west is a second camp called Henelek. It's 1,600 feet higher. Here, another team tries its luck against even greater odds. The way to the Henelek mine is a secret, known to very few people. Here, the altitude, the temperature, the climate are all more extreme. The miners of Henelek aren't Chinese, they're Uyghurs, Sunni Muslims, culturally more similar to the people of Uzbekistan and Kazakhstan to the west. One of the miners keeps a pet wolf. He hopes to take it home with him to breed with the dog when the mining season ends in 2 or 3 weeks' time. That's all the time they have left this year, and so far they've found nothing. Back at Alamas, Zhang Jiangguo has invested in a diesel-powered compressor. Kurban and the others struggle to start it each day. Until 50 years ago, all the power in the Kunlun jade mines came from human muscle. Now, machines such as this take some of the sweat out of the daily work of drilling and blasting. Always keen, Kurban takes charge of the pneumatic drill. Zhang Zhangguo has time to sit and worry about his investment.
The places we've searched haven't shown much promise. Last year was slightly better. This year hasn't been good.
The drill makes frustratingly slow progress through the hard rock. Neither Zhang nor any of his laborers has much technical knowledge about mining. They rely on experience and luck is never guaranteed.
If there are no good quality stones like this year, there could be some losses. If we get some good stones, profits will be okay. Mining carries certain risks with it.
It's time to set the charges.
Bring something over to poke it. Use an iron bar.
Don't push it too hard, otherwise it'll explode.
It won't explode.
Kaban sounds the warning to keep clear. At the Jade camp of Saidukulam, an anxious group of Chinese miners faces the prospect of failure this season. A number of the men have caught the flu in the cold weather. This laborer hasn't eaten for days. Tian Wei is the foreman here, and he's losing money. In a last desperate attempt to find some jade, he sent for Mai Taruz, an old miner, who claims to know of a hidden mine nearby.
When we first came in 1972, there was an old man who told us there was a mine where the rocks were very white. We searched for that place lots of times years ago. Maybe it was buried or hidden under falling stones. No, we couldn't find it.
Jade hunters have been coming to the Kunlun Mountains for centuries. Is it possible that the old man knows about a mine that all these miners have missed? Maybe.
I plan to go up tomorrow to the places that you know. After that, we'll search around for the vein.
But this is a last desperate throw of the dice. Tian Wei has less than 3 weeks to find Jade or lose his investment in the camp. This season has brought the worst summer rains to the Kunlun jade mines for 20 years. On 4 days out of 10, it's too wet for the miners to go out in any of the 3 camps. All they can do is wait. At Alamas camp, Zhang Jiangguo has agreed to pay his laborers a high wage, rain or shine. On wet days, he sees his investment trickle away. Lao Tian, the cook, at least keeps the men well fed. Apart from that, the laborers have to rely on a sparse collection of music and games to keep boredom at bay. While Zhang does some bookkeeping, Xiao Zhang has been fossicking for something he craves, a cigarette.
Where did you get the cigarette? From Kurban's tent. Where? From that tent.
Is it a butt?
No, it's a real cigarette.
You must be addicted.
I guess it can't be lit.
Come on, that cigarette's rubbish.
It doesn't taste like a cigarette. Damn, it's been crushed. There's no taste left.
Kurban tries to beat the camp blues by sharing his repertoire of Uyghur folk songs. The rain not only dampens their spirits, but decreases their chances of going home to their families with a bonus in their pay packet. At last, the rain begins to clear. The miners of Alamas will soon head back up the mountain to check the results of their most recent blasting. Meanwhile, over at Saidukulan, Tian Wei and the old miner Maitaruz have begun their search for the lost mine, Tian Wei's last chance to save his investment.
The jade here is all broken. It's all like that here.
They've found a vein of jade.
If you prise it with this tool, it'll easily come away. This is all broken.
This area is all like that.
The vein starts up there and then comes down through here.
But Maitaruz doesn't believe it's the vein they're looking for. They try further up the mountain. This is a promising site. Maitaruz advises Tian Wei what to do.
And over there, if it's possible, use the pneumatic drill. Drill 2 or 3 holes near that side, set off some explosive and have a look. Don't touch that up on top.
But Maitaruz knows this isn't the lost mine either. Hours of searching bring them no closer to saving Tian Wei's investment. Tian Wei's becoming agitated. He's looking sideways at one of his laborers, wondering if he's secretly found a vein of jade on another part of the mountain.
What have you found over where you are?
Nothing.
Nothing at all? Well, just keep going. How many times have I told you? Keep looking until you know there's really nothing there.
Can't you see it's raining?
Then why have you told me you haven't found anything?
I'm just saying.
Well, what do you want to do? If you don't want to work, just leave. As I said, if we're finished before September 10th, everything will be fine. If not, then all we can do is go back down. No point in staying here because when it snows, you can't see anything. Walking down the hill today, I suddenly realized that we've made a mistake. If we'd spent the money to employ a technician at the very beginning, we'd have been much better off. One technician is more use than all of us together. When I go back down, I'll ask the boss to send me 2 technicians. I'll pay the salaries. Then, if I can't find anything, I'll just accept failure. All my money is invested here.
Even for experienced jade miners, Life at 14,000 feet in the Kunlun Mountains is no picnic. It's only breakfast time, but already the labourers at Hennelik are complaining. Even the cook has been muttering that he never expected it to be this hard. Though most were born in this region, they're missing home, and some are griping about the work. Seven miners have already left the camp, and if many more go, it'll seriously compromise the endeavour. Mahmet, the financier of this expedition, could lose his money. He has just a few more days of good weather left to get enough jade out of these mountains to make a profit. He needs his team to stand by him, so he's decided to give them a pep talk.
Now, we've been together here for 4 months. I didn't force you to come. You wanted to come yourself. But if someone wants to leave, okay. I really don't care. Just don't threaten me, okay? Stay or leave. Now you must decide yourselves. It's a tough job here we've got to do. Now we trust each other. That's because we know each other. That's why I brought you all here. I just hope that everyone does their best.
The path up to the mine would challenge a mountaineer, but these hardy sons of herders climb it every day in street clothes and sand shoes. At this altitude, most people would gasp for breath after just a few steps. Every day, the team must go 6 kilometers to the source of the Jade. It's a tough climb that takes over 2 hours. The vein of jade they're working is located at the bottom of a pit. Some of his labourers are inexperienced, but Mahmet is confident and clear about what he wants.
We're going to focus on this place here. Dig out there, and then we'll set off the explosives. Dig here. Drill the holes right in here, like this. Then we'll place the explosives, we'll clear the site, and then we'll blast it.
When the dust clears, they'll gather their treasure. Once the rocks have stopped falling, the Hanalek jade hunters climb down a rope of twisted yak hair to check their blast site. They've uncovered some second-class jade. It's not the best, but Marmot and his team have something to show for their struggles and investment.
The bigger the better. It's a shame it's too small. The colour isn't bad.
Good jade has a watery shine and a smooth finish. It looks translucent, like honey, with a pure, even colour. Any jade that fails these standards isn't worth carrying down the mountain. The vein at the Elamas mine has produced good jade, well worth carrying down the mountain. One rock weighs around 100 pounds. Kurban, strong and ever willing, has volunteered to carry it back to the camp. Using a makeshift sling of yak hair rope and a folded jacket as padding for his back, he sets off. He's carrying the weight of a small refrigerator on his shoulders. He has a 6-mile journey ahead of him. Kurban has an ambition. He'll use the money he earns from Jade to buy a motorbike, so he can trade sheepskins in the area near his village. Such thoughts drive him on, but don't make the load any lighter. Lao Tien, the cook, has taken a break from his lighter duties at the camp to walk up the mountain.
Put it down.
Yeah.
Put it up there.
No, it's all right.
Put it on top of the rock. It'll be too hard to stand up again.
It doesn't matter.
The other miners with lighter loads have caught up. The only load carried by Zhang Jiangguo is responsibility for the expedition. Kurban manages to keep up with the others for a while. But altitude, weight and fatigue begin to take their toll. The rest of the team is nearly home. Each weary step is more treacherous than the last. Kurban's dream keeps him going. He thinks often of a girl in his home village. If he buys the motorbike, she'll marry him. And he'll give her the heart-shaped pendant he's been carving for her. After a 10-hour journey, it's an exhausted Kurban that finally makes it back to camp. The reward for all his effort may be small, but it'll help his dream come true. For the jade hunters of Saidikulam, there are no rewards this season. Tian Wei and his team have done their best and failed. They're making a final desperate appeal to the god of the mountain. They'll sacrifice a goat. Tian Wei gambled with the Kunlun Mountains and lost. Even the successful jade hunters must still face risks. At Alamas, cook Lao Tian and 3 other miners have accepted an offer from Zhang Jiangguo. He's promised them $120 to carry this rock down the mountain. The rock weighs 400 pounds, heavier than 2 large men. Like sailors singing a sea shanty, they chant to keep working in rhythm. Its finished retail value will depend on how it's cut and carved, but could be as high as $300,000. These men are earning $30 each. The nearest point where they can transfer their load to a donkey is still 5 or 6 days away. With about a ton of jade altogether, Zhang Jiangguo and his Alamas team have done better this year than the hapless miners of Saidikulam. At Hennelik, they've also been successful. But getting their jade out of the mine takes a 2-day journey through extremely rough country. A small group makes the trip every few days. Each of these miners is gambling with his life. One slip on this cliff could send them plunging 12,000 feet to the rocks below. Having negotiated the cliff, their next challenge is a flooded river. The gamble isn't over yet. They trust their weight and their lives to a steel cable strung between rocks. The long haul takes them to a depot, which is constantly guarded against thieves. Before they head back to camp, the miners help to prepare Marmot's jade for market. Each bag is weighed, then fitted with a tamper-proof seal, a twist of wire. And a dab of yellow paint. Donkeys now take over, carrying the jade for 3 days to the nearest road. And with each step closer to market, the value of the jade increases. As winter closes in and the mining season ends, the jade hunter's gamble is over. Some succeeded, others failed. None lost their lives, but some lost their fortunes. But the lure of riches is powerful enough to draw some back every year to hunt jade in the Kunlun Mountains.